Well, hello there, and can you believe it's Wednesday already? I'm just trying to go live on Instagram as well as Facebook. So bear with me. I think we're okay. I think we're good to go. So listen, I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday and halfway through the week already. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Today's topic is not a very sexy one, but it's certainly a very important one. It's one of the most important components of any interior design. So whether you're redecorating your bedroom or a living room, whether you're installing a new kitchen, whether you're building a new house, whether you're in the middle of an extension, the budget is actually the most important part of your interior design. Everything hinges on it. And I've always said that I can work with any budget as long as you have a budget. So it is possible to work with a very high budget. It is possible to work with a low budget. It's possible to work with an in-between budget. But what's really important is that you become so familiar with your project and with the funds that are available to finance this project. So let me know where you are as you're coming in, and if you're coming in later on in the replay, just hit me a little hashtag replay and I will say hello to you and I'll come back to you. Sorry if I sound distracted. I'm trying to figure out if I'm live on Instagram or not. So bear with me for one little minute and I'll see. I think I am actually. I think I am. Yeah, and Denise is there. And Grace, that's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. Good. So the budget. Where do you start? How do you get organized? What do you do? Well, the first thing is to get very, very organized. And I would also say get Excel. Now, I'm not much of an Excel guru. Thankfully, I'm married to somebody who is. For me, I use a notebook and I write in my notebook, and that is my scientific way of keeping on top of the budget. So what I would advise that you do is that you organize your budget room by room. So if say you're building a new house or say you've got a 4-room extension, I would actually work on an individual budget for every space because it just focuses your mind on exactly what you need, and it focuses your mind on how much that you have to spend and how much you need to spend as well. So within your room, the first thing I would probably do is to figure out your furnishings. So say we'll take a living room as an example. So your sofas are your big ticket item, your sofas and your floor. So I would go for good quality sofas and furnishings all the time. This does not necessarily mean terribly, terribly expensive. You know, most of the shops like Easy Living, your local furniture shop. I'm a great believer in shopping local. I love to support small local businesses. I feel they're the people who really have my back. And if there's a problem, if you're buying from a big multinational and there's a problem with the leg of your sofa or something, it might take a little bit longer to get it sorted. I find that the local suppliers are definitely more receptive to helping you, and you will get a much better service. So when you're picking something like a big ticket item like your sofa, I want you to be very careful to make sure that it's exactly the right size for your space. Do not buy a sofa that's too big, as many people do. So I would think that you go to the shop, they will give you a computer printout of the dimensions. You go home, you measure it out on your floor, you put down newspapers, and some of you will be listening who've done this because I've told you to do it, and this will have saved your bacon. I will never forget ages ago doing an interior design class, an in-person class in Harvey's Point, and I started talking about maybe about budgets. I can't remember what I started talking about. And this girl burst into tears, and I thought, what have I said or what have I done? And she said, Anne, I've just realized that I have wasted €5,000 on sofas that are not going to work or fit in my space. I don't want you to do that. So putting down the newspapers, even if you don't buy a newspaper, go and buy one. Go buy your local paper, put it down on the floor. It is crazy how it makes you realize exactly what will fit and what will not fit. And in a smaller space, this is even particularly important, more important. Oftentimes, say if I was having custom made, bespoke sofas made, and I would, from the plans of the house, figure out the exact size that worked mathematically in the space, would go to the manufacturer, talk it through, pick the style, pick the fabric, didn't place the order until I went back on site and put the newspapers out. And oftentimes I would have reduced a little bit, or maybe even made it a little bit bigger when I was in the space, because you need to have a spatial awareness. You need to be in your space. So just be careful of that. So your big ticket items like your furniture, be careful and pick something you love. Talked about this the other day. Don't pick something that's going to date your space. I tend to go for neutral sofas for a very, very good reason. It gives you so much more scope in the decoration of your room. It also means that you have a timeless classical design that's not going to date, that's going to last forever. So I would go for a good beach construction. A lot of the Irish companies are superb in their manufacture. And a lot of them are still in Monaghan and Navan, but they are superb. And lots of the local retailers, furniture retailers, will support these companies. And this is where your sofas are coming from. Thankfully, lead times are coming down now. Post-lockdown, everything took so long to get to us. But lead times, even with the Spanish and the Italian, seems to be reducing, which is good. If you want a fabric sofa, and I would recommend for comfort that you do, for goodness sake, go for an AquaClean fabric. It's not going to cost you much more than a regular sofa fabric. But what it means is that if somebody spills a glass of red wine or a cup of coffee on that sofa, or your grandchildren or children write on it with markers, you can clean it with water, and that's going to look good forever, even though it's lighter. So certainly allocate a decent budget for your big ticket sofas. So you're going to be sitting in them every single day. They need to be comfortable, you know, and don't buy a sofa online. You need to check, you know, although the sofa is lower, it's more of a snugly up sofa. I do like the chair that I'm sitting in the evening time to support my back, and that's me. So get something that's comfortable for you. Also, a little tip, if you're buying from your local retailers, ask them if, say, one of you in the house is very tall and maybe you want the back a little bit higher, maybe you want more foam in your cushions, maybe you want it more firm. They will actually tailor that. They won't tell you, but they will give you a little bespokeness if you ask for it. So never be afraid to ask. So the size and the fabric, I want you to buy a sofa that is within your budget, and that's eminently possible by shopping around with the right fabric in the right size. That's going to be a superb investment in your space. Your flooring also, I would say, put down a flooring that you're never going to get sick of. Put down a good quality flooring. If it's tiles, that's easy. If you've got underfloor heating, you'll probably go with porcelain tiles. And there's so much gorgeousness in porcelain tiles as well. Variation in price as well. Spanish and Italians still seem to create and make the best tiles, and all of your local shops will have them. Again, go to a local tile shop. They will guide you, they will help you, they will give you the best value that they can, and you'll have superb backup service as well. If you're going with a laminate floor, which I do recommend that you do, you can have a hardwood floor if you like. It's going to be harder to maintain, it's going to be more expensive, and it's not going to work with your underfloor heating. But laminates, technology have improved laminates so much that you've got whiteboards, you've got superb graining, you've got gorgeous colors. Be wary of the grey floorings. I think they're going to date a little bit. So not a little bit, they are going to date. I think go for the more natural floorings, because whatever you've got on your floor, you're not going to be replacing it, so you must love it, absolutely love it. So go with something nice and neutral to your budget. You will find it, I promise you that. And actually, as I'm going through every category, I'm going to give you little tips on how you can get more bang for your buck, or maybe, you know, you don't have to splurge, and ways that you might save money on these items. So going back to the sofas, you will save money by being sent, maybe even buying in a sale. Maybe there's a discount on in a shop, or just buying something that's a mid-range price, good quality, with your AquaClean fabric, because that is an investment. There's no point in buying a cheaper sofa that has a regular fabric if somebody spills something on it next week and it's destroyed. So I want you to have longevity in your design. So you're going to spend a bit of money on your sofas unless you're very, very lucky. I remember once being with a client and we wanted a very specific sofa, an L-shaped sofa, large, on legs, and one part of it needed to be lower because there was this gorgeous long window with a beautiful sea view outside it. And in our local Easy Living in Letterkenny, Grove Furnishings, I couldn't believe it. They had a Fama sofa in the right color, in exactly the right size and configuration, on sale. It was so well reduced. So, you know, once you know what you want, I've always had this theory, it's like the law of attraction provides for you when you know what you want. So get really clear on your vision. You have to be so clear on your vision of what you want, and you will find it. Lower budget means you might have to do a little bit more legwork, a little bit more shopping around, a little bit more looking around, but that's okay. Flooring, you can, if you go with a good quality laminate floor, you're going to save money on that. Then you're going to have to allocate money for your decor, your paint and your wallpaper. Never, ever forget that you're paying for labor as well. Now, obviously, if you did your own DIY painting, you're going to save money by doing that, but always factor in the money for the installation and the labor, because some people do forget about this, and then that's a bit of a hiccup. So again, planning on paper all the time means that you don't forget things, and if you do it room by room, it's like a checklist. And I have more about a checklist coming up in a minute. With the wallpaper, you can, lots of your paint wallpaper shops they'll have very, very expensive high-end wallpapers, which are fine if you're doing a feature wall or alcoves or something like that, but you will get good quality wallpaper at quite affordable prices if you start looking around. It's again with your paints. You know, you can buy Faro and Ball and Little Green Paint Company paints. They are very, very expensive. Zoffany is another one. They're gorgeous paints. They're gorgeous colours. There is nothing wrong with our Irish manufacturers. Fleetwood and Colour Trend have invested millions and millions and millions of euro in creating the most wonderful quality paints and the most wonderful colours. So again, shop local, go with your local paints. You will save money that way. I thought about something else there now, and it's gone totally out of my head. I'm not sure what that was. Window treatments, you're going to have to factor in your money for your window treatments as well. And there are ways that you can save money on this. You know, you can opt for ready-made curtains. Even if you've got a very big window, you could have 2 pairs of ready-made curtains on your large window. You could, if you fell in love with a stunning fabric, but it's really, really expensive, have it made into a Roman blind and have it made into cushions. Because another thing that you can do to save on your cushions, say you have a fabric that you love and it coordinates with the curtains or the Roman blinds in your room, have the back made in a cheaper fabric. And, you know, you get the same look, but you're buying less fabric. Lighting as well, you're going to have to factor in. Maybe I'll go through the list of what you need. Obviously, it's logical, it's sensible, it's common sense. Factor in money for your lighting and the installation of your lighting. Factor in money for your accessories and your finishing touches. Remember too that sometimes it is cheaper for you and better value if you batch your labor. So say you know that you're going to need to get a few rooms in your house done or all of your house painted, but you're only decorating this one room at the moment. If you can organize yourself to get your paint colors picked for the rest of the rooms and get the painting out of the way, happy days. It's done, dusted, and then all you have to do is decorate room by room by room. And I do suggest, if you've got multiple projects going on in your home, that you do one room and you finish it. Completely finish it, and only then do you move on to the next project, because otherwise you'll find you'll never complete anything. It's the same if you've got lights to be put up. Get your electrician to hang all of your lights, even if there are sitting rooms that are not going to be used in a new house for quite a while. Get your light fittings up anyway. And I can remember when we built our house, one of my neighbours met me somewhere. I might have been in his business buying something, and I said, gosh, the rush is on now to get in. He said, I'm going to give you one piece of advice, Sam. Just go and get all your light fittings and get them put up right now, because otherwise you could wait years and there might be no light fittings in some rooms. And I've never forgotten that. So going back to ways that you can save money on your purchases, you can save an awful lot by shopping smartly with your lighting. There's one company that I will give a massive shout out to, that's Max Lighting in Cavan and in Letterkenny, and soon they're going to have a superstore in Lifford. Their lighting is stunning, absolutely stunning. Whether you like traditional, whether you like contemporary, they have so much lighting, and it's actually really, really well priced. Love it, absolutely love everything that they do. And so there are ways that you can do this. You can save on your lighting. Sometimes buying online as well for your lighting is a good thing as well. You might, I've done that and achieved a lot of savings on the lighting. It's the same on your things like your plug sockets and your light switches if you are changing them. There's a company, I think it's an Irish company called Click, and they do, so it used to be trade only, but now for the last X number of years, you can buy it anywhere. Really good quality, but not at crazy prices. Always keep money for your accessories and your finishing touches. This is what elevates your room, and so many people don't leave. They just don't. They forget about the finishing touches, or they think, oh, sure, I'll do that another time. And it never, ever gets done. So I would rather that you shop very smartly on all your big ticket items to save the money, to create the budget for your finishing touches. Always be mindful of your extras as well. It's so easy to ask your electrician to put in extra sockets and ask your builder to do this and that and the other, and all these extras add up, and you could have a very unwelcome surprise at the end when you're clearing your account. So be mindful of that. One thing that I'll introduce you to as well, in interior design, you have two types of budgeting. You have top down and bottom up budgeting. Top down is where the budget is completely established before you source anything. And bottom up is where you source items piece by piece. So you're building your budget up as you go. I tend to do a bit of both. For the big ticket items, I like to know exactly what they're going to cost and stick to that. And for the bottom upping, I tend to allocate a sum. Say for finishing touches, I allocate a sum and I just put that there. And then I spend wisely, and whatever I want always seems to come up. I can remember once going off to do a show house in Sligo, finish it. It was done, but I just needed extra bits and pieces, and I had a list. And obviously a very tight budget. Like when I did the RTE show house, the entire budget for that house, including the kitchen, the bathrooms, all the furnishings, flooring, painting, decorating, everything, fireplace, was €25,000, and I did it under budget. Incredible. I'd say I was only just under budget, and I'd never shopped more assiduously and more smartly in my life. But I think that house is still up on the RTE website. And the quality was superb, and every single thing I put into that house. In fact, I was speaking at an event in Sligo, a Women's Day event a few years ago, in Sligo, in that lovely hotel on the river, the Glass House. And this lady came up to me at one of the breaks, and she said, Anne, my dad bought your show house in Dromahair, and he hasn't changed anything. And that was actually a good few years afterwards. So longevity in design, you'd hear me saying this over and over and over, and I will educate you and make you do it, because you can't beat it. You'll never get sick of it. You will love it forever. You just change the look in your accessories as you're going on. So ways to stretch your budget. There's plenty of little off-the-cuff tips that I can give you here. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you something. I have been putting together a room design checklist for you. So this is going to be a freebie. Haven't it finished. I've only really just started, but it's nicely done. And you'll have it in PDF form that you can keep forever and ever, because I want you to have this. I'm a list girl, and when I have a list, things get done. And when I have a list, I see what needs to be done and what order and all of the rest. And it just makes for a very successful build, and it takes a lot of the stress away. So I've put 9 segments, if you like, in your in this checklist. And if anybody wants it, and you should all get it, just send me a little comment checklist here, and I will send it to you. But I'll get you on a list for it, because I'm going away this weekend, so I won't have it done by next week. It'll be next week. I know it will. So the first thing I do is to start with your vision and your dream for the space. So say we're going back to the sitting room. I want you to think about, if budget was no object, what would you like this space to look like? And that might seem like a little simplistic of me to say that, but I can tell you, if I know what you want, I can recreate that to any budget. And if you get to know what you want, you can do the same. Very important, and I hark back to this all the time, that you know your style. You have to establish your own style. You need to know it and own it, and then you're going to have this clear vision of what your dream space is going to look like. I want you then to assess the space. Checklist, no problem, Pauline. Pauline's first on the list. Assess your space, and what I mean by that is see what you have, see what you can actually keep. Maybe you can upcycle something. Chris is looking for it. Everybody's looking for the checklist. I should have waited until the end. Marion, I read that as keep her lit. It's checklist. No problem. But assess your space. I'm a great believer in using what you already have. You know, if you can upcycle a piece of furniture, if you can even, remember in our old house, I got 2 sofas in St. Vincent de Paul in Letterkenny because I had big trouble getting sofas to fit the space. I wanted one to fit under a window because it was a lovely view out over Lough Swilly, and I wanted the other one higher on the back wall. Couldn't get them, and probably couldn't afford to get bespoke sofas made. So anyway, I went to the St. Vincent de Paul shop, bought these sofas, got them completely refigured in the fabric from the upholsterer. One was in charcoal, the other was in a creamy ivory color. I had lovely Laura Ashley curtains. They were actually charcoal and cream. They were floral, gorgeous. They were actually gorgeous. It was a really classy room. But they came from the secondhand shop, the St. Vincent de Paul shop. So open your mind, you know, but see what you have. Maybe you've got lamps that you could change the lamp shades on. You know, maybe you could spray paint your light fittings. There's so much that you can do. So assess your space. Then I want you to declutter and clear. Absolutely. I don't want any of you undertaking any interior design of any sort ever again without doing a deep declutter and clearing of the space, because it gets rid of all the superfluous nonsense and rubbish that's been accumulating there for years. It will actually, feng shui will tell you, it will clear up the energy. It will clear up your own energy as well. You'll feel amazing. I do have another reset 2024 decluttering course starting. I think it's in 2 weeks' time. I'll start announcing it probably tomorrow or this evening. But the girls, every day I'm getting messages from the girls, and I'm just so proud of what they've achieved. And it has been easy, effortless. There's one girl who's got 3 kids, 3 boys, and pets, and a very busy house. And she sent me photographs last night, and I could have cried. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, oh my God. And they're all doing it, every single one of them. So it's just brilliant. So if you want help with your decluttering, and I do have a waiting list for that next course, actually. That will be, if it's 5 weeks, and it'll be once a week, nighttime live. So if you're interested, send me a little comment with reset as well, and I will put you on the list for that, because I know some of you have been asking me already. But it's just been amazing, and now is the time to do it before you embark on any decoration. So then the next thing I want you to do is to take time to create a design inspiration. You know, maybe look at Instagram or Pinterest or wherever you get your inspiration from. Just look at visions, pictures, keep them on your phone of maybe colors that you like. If I'm working with somebody, I will say, I want you from now on to send me photographs or collect photographs of anything that you love, be it a lamp, a piece of fabric, a piece of art, anything, a sofa design, anything, because it's by doing that you get a picture of. And if you don't know your own style, it's a really good way of finding out your own style as well, because you'll gravitate towards the same things all the time, and this vision will just begin to appear for you. So what's next? Number 5 then on your design plan or your checklist is your design plan, and I will help you plan that out step by step by step, because that's the way I do it. Then the next item on your checklist is all about color scheming and how to do that. Layout and flow, which is so important. Lighting, vitally important as well. And then the last part of that room design checklist that I'm putting together is all about the budget breakdown. Now, for any of you who have enrolled, and I know Catherine has, and Chris has, and Marion has, you've all got access. You're doing Sharing the Secrets, the masterclass. Everything that I'm talking about there, and starting with knowing your own style, that's all in that course. And it's still only €49. And I can tell you, it's the best €49 that you'll ever spend in your life, because you'll have it forever and ever for every project that you ever do again, because you will forget things. But then the more you do it, you know, the more your confidence is going to grow and your knowledge base is going to grow. So you're going to make different design decisions that are actually better. You know, I know over time I have evolved and improved because of doing things you have to do to learn, but you need to learn as well, and you need formal learning. So €49 for that Sharing the Secrets masterclass. If you want it, there is a link. I actually was so organized the other day, and I popped a link. So the first post on this page is a link to that course. I would encourage you to buy it, because it's disappearing. Well, it's not disappearing, but the €49 price is disappearing at the end of the month in February, last 29th of February. And also I'm doing a free workshop, getting your design started workshop, with a live Q&A that you can ask me questions. It'll be interactive, and that's only for anybody who joins up this week. So I hope that doesn't sound confusing, but if it does, just send me a message. But I couldn't recommend enough that you do it, because it will help you so much. And now finally, I'm going to just give you quick little ways off the top of my head that you can stretch your budget. Number one, imprint this on your mind. Make your changes on paper. Get to know your plans. Or if you're doing any structural changes at all, think it out long and hard before work starts. Because when you start making changes in the middle of a job and you're chasing walls, because you want to put your light switches in a different place, which means that the chasing that's already there before is going to have to be filled in and plastered up and made good. Your builder is going to have a headache. Your electrician is going to have a headache. You're going to delay the project and you're going to end up wasting money. So make your changes on paper. So get very familiar with your design first. And my checklist will definitely help you with that. And that checklist is totally free. It's a gift from me to you. Stick to your design. I do believe that when you do that, when you have a game plan and you don't waver, it's going to be an odd time when something will come up and maybe what you decided on is not workable. That's different. And then you'll brainstorm. In any design project, I have this theory. It's called fix and forget. And anybody who works with me knows that. Fix and forget. Issues come up, you fix them, and you move on to the next one until everything is done. And you know, you've got this fabulous design space that's just a dream come true. Oh, Chris is here. I love you girls. She said, do it really is great value. I'm getting brave enough to tackle the small downstairs loo, and we've told her to go bold and dramatic and fabulous. And question, brass lighting switch, is it old fashioned like 70s, 80s? No, lots of people are putting in brass. Yvonne, lots of people, that's why fashions come and fashions go, but cycles return. I would leave them for the time being, leave them, because if you're going to be doing room by room by room, which I think you are going to be doing, leave them. And then if down the road, when everything is done, if you want to change and put in some chrome or some of the click switches, you know, you can do that. But I would leave them. I would leave them, because you don't have to have everything matchy-matchy. You can have a chrome light fitting and brass switches. You can have whatever you want, really, within reason. Within reason. But I would keep them. I would absolutely keep them. Stick to your set. Indecision. Don't be listening to other people. Indecision is actually, I find it is the biggest deterrent to successful design. You have to be decisive, because if you're in the middle of a project, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to say to your builder, this is what I'm doing, and those tiles are in that shop, or you know, here's a paint spec for the painter, or you know, I picked my fireplace, here it is. When you're indecisive, you waste so much time, you will drive yourself crazy. So I think good interior design comes about by knowledge and confidence. Get the knowledge, do the course, do Sharing the Secrets, get that knowledge. And you have it. It's the beauty of it. It's not like you're going to a course and writing down notes and forgetting stuff. This is online for you forever. You get that login, you have it forever. But to get rid of indecision, you need to have the knowledge, and that gives you the confidence. And the more you do it, as Chris said, you know, it's given her the confidence to tackle that downstairs loo. It will give you confidence, and it will give you ideas. And when you have a success, even if it's a small success, that will actually propel you on to a better success. I'm convinced that interior designers are made. I don't know that we're born. I was a nurse. I love being a nurse. I love being a full-time mom. I certainly love my interior design, but it was knowledge that got me there first, to be honest. Knowledge and practical application. Other ways to save money is shop around, and do shop local. I always support the local businesses. I always do. And I find I get good value and superb service and an excellent product from them. There are always DIY options as well. You know, you can do your own painting. You can do your own upcycling. There's many things that you can do. And as well as that, you know, if you've got something like, say you've got an ottoman at the bottom of your bed, you hate the fabric, or you bought an ottoman in the secondhand shop, bring it to your upholsterer. And because you're also getting this gorgeous bespoke headboard created by you, made by your upholsterer, which is not going to cost you a fortune, and have the two made in the Gavina, who probably isn't in here today, is having a gorgeous bedroom scheme done at the minute in her new extension. And she's got her ottoman at the bottom of the bed, and she's got a fabulous, massive big headboard as well. So think outside the box, but the more you tutor yourself, the more you learn, the more you come in here to the lives as well. There'll be lots of little hints and tips that you'll pick up on that are so simple. And sometimes I have this knowledge inside me, and I don't always share as much as I should, or maybe share what you need to hear, because I think everybody knows it, but you don't. I talked about batching jobs like your painting, your electrical, things like that, and dirty jobs as well. If you've got paint, say you've got tiling to get done, get that out of the way first. Anything that's dirty and messy, get it out of the way first, and then you're just down to decoration. You're not taking 2 steps forward and 1 back, or 2 steps back and 1 forward. Is what I should have said, but you know what I mean. Try and get those dirty jobs out of the way so that you've got a clean slate to work at. It doesn't matter if you take a long time to finish off your last sitting room. You'll really enjoy it when you do it, but do have it painted, do have the floor down, that'll keep the dust down, and do have your light fitting fitted as well. I talked about window treatments. You can save an awful lot of money with your window treatments. Like, you're looking at a girl who spent I'm ashamed about this, but I do tell it because it'll sober you. I spent €6,000 on 3 pairs of curtains for our family room, which I actually changed after a couple of years. I'll never do that again. Never, never, never. Second time round, I used a less expensive Sanderson fabric, and I actually did dress curtains for some of those windows because we never ever pulled them. So go with better price fabrics. They're still gorgeous mid-price and lower price fabrics that you can use. You know, put a trim onto the edge of your curtains, and that will elevate the look. You know, have gorgeous tie backs. They're not going to cost you a fortune. Go with ready-made curtains. Honestly, on a big window, you've no idea. You can even get ready-mades in a 130 by 90, but you'll certainly 90 by 90, 2 sets of 90 by 90s will dress most big windows, and will actually save you so much money. And I talked about making up the Roman blinds in a gorgeous, fabulous fabric, or having fabulous fabric in your cushions to pull everything together. Anybody got any questions at all? Anything else? So there's lots of ways that you can stretch your budget, really and truly. Like, if you think back to that €25,000 for the RTE show house for Shane Filan, and there was never more publicity about a show house, I'd say, in the country, because it was his house, and every media and everybody covered it. But I was never so proud of a design, and that is the truth. You know, around that same time, I probably spent that much on my kitchen because of the AGA, and yet I was able to create that house for that amount of money to such a high. And let's actually find photographs, because I think they're still on the RTE website, and just go back down memory lane and have a look. So that's it for today. Don't underestimate your budget. But one day next week, I will have my checklist ready for you, and I will give that to you. All I need is your email address. So either, well, I think everybody who's given me a note here about it, I do have your email, or even direct message me. I don't want you putting your email here on a public comment, but if you direct message me your email, I will put you on the list for that. But I'll be reminding you about it anyway. And I'll be reminding you all week as well to sign up and join That's Sharing the Secrets Masterclass, because it's going to take you to another planet for sure. God, 30 years ago, when I was starting off on my interior design voyage and had a little house in Dublin, if I had something like that to do, it would have made my life so much easier. Instead, I had to teach myself, but it all worked out. So listen, have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll be back on Friday. And Friday is all about functionality, because design doesn't work unless it functions. There's no point in having something that looks beautiful if it doesn't work. So that's going to be an interesting one for Friday. So thanks for tuning in, and I shall see you all later. And let's see, I'll just go over to Instagram and turn off the light there, and then I'll end things here as well. Yay. Okay, bye Instagram, and thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, it's telling me I'm still live. It's taking a minute to knock that off, but that's okay. Yep, fantastic. Good. Well, that was a win for me, because Instagram and StreamYard they're not always terribly compatible, but today they were. So today's a good day. Bye, guys. I'll see you on Friday. And listen, if you're coming in on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And if you want that checklist, just let me know. There I go. End stream and away I go. Bye-bye.